Guys, Kendrick, another movie for you guys, and this movie we're reviewing, I really didn't know what to think of this movie. I mean, just from the trailers and the reception that this movie was getting, I really wasn't expecting much from it going into it, but I was hoping it would be good, mainly just because of who's in it. But that movie is another movie that came out this week, and that movie is Mr. Right, another movie you guys probably never heard of. It seems like a direct-to-DVD movie, definitely. It definitely was VOD, and, basically, I didn't really know what this movie was going to be like. I wanted to see it mainly because of Anna Kendrick. I'm going to be honest, that's the main reason I checked it out. Plus because it's a movie that came out, and obviously I want to review it for you guys. But I really wasn't looking forward to it. It was like a 47% Rotten Tomatoes. Wasn't really thinking it was going to be very good, especially after Get a Job. I was thinking this was like Get a Job, another movie that was basically shelved that Anna Kendrick did that wasn't released till now, and that's basically the case, because Mr. Right is kind of a mess. It really is. It's not a bad movie, but it's a very messy movie, and it really doesn't feel, complete. It feels very messy, and just doesn't work very much at all. Let's get to the plot of Mr. Right, though, because we basically focus on our main character, of course, Martha, played by Anna Kendrick. She's this girl that has this boyfriend, and basically he breaks up with her because he's cheated on her, and it basically caused her to go completely batshit. She starts going to parties, she starts acting like a bitch to her friends, and she wants to do something bad, and literally she says, I want to do something bad about this, and basically one day she falls in love with this guy who will only reveal his name as Mr. Right. These two click right away, but eventually we find out that this guy is actually a professional hitman, and basically she has to deal with this, but basically, she has to deal with this. We have to see if their love can remain, and he has to take down the guys that are hunting him, and that basically is the plot of Mr. Right. You can already tell where this movie goes wrong. There's so many things wrong with this movie. Now, let me just say that the main thing that makes this movie not terrible is the cast, because the cast is definitely trying. Every single actor here is definitely trying, especially our main three actors. Without a doubt, Anna Kendrick is the best thing about this movie, in my opinion. Here's the thing with Anna Kendrick. Even with bad roles, I think she tries, and she tries real hard to play this role of Martha. You really want to care about her character. You see that I think she really tried to do a good job. The problem is, this character is just kind of insufferable, honestly. There's nothing that I think Anna Kendrick couldn't do to make Martha not annoying. Martha, in reality, is a terribly irritating character that I couldn't stand throughout the entire movie. And here's the thing that makes no sense. She's supposed to be crazy, but it doesn't really go with her character, because I can't believe that she's just crazy after her boyfriend breaks up with her. In the very beginning of the movie, we get this kind of lighthearted scene of her trying to send sexy pictures to her boyfriend, and I think girls go through that all the time, wondering, is this picture right? Am I sexy? Things like that. That's a perfectly fine scene. All of a sudden, though, no, she's actually this crazy girl, and the rest of the movie, she's just crazy, and I never really believed it. And I like that Anna Kendrick's trying to do different things. I definitely really appreciate that. I think she's still a great actress. This is not her fault. There is nothing in this movie that is her fault. It's just the character she's playing is not good. The character she's playing is awful. There's nothing they could do to make her character likable, and I pretty much hated her character. I mean, this is probably one of the worst characters Anna Kendrick's ever played, and I get that she tried to do it, but I can't believe that Anna Kendrick played this role. I don't think that she was that great. I think that she, like I said, she definitely tried to bring something to the role, and she definitely has that charm, but this girl in general is just very sadistic and very just not like the other roles Anna Kendrick's played, and I get that she was trying to do something different, but it just didn't work, and as much as she tries, unfortunately, it just didn't work. Same with Sam Rockwell. His character is just, he ruins most of the movie. That brings on my main problem with the movie. Look, he has, I think, good chemistry with Anna Kendrick. A lot of people say, oh, and they have perfect chemistry. No, I don't think they have that great of chemistry. Anna Kendrick, I think, is just a great actress that she kind of naturally has chemistry with anyone. Sam Rockwell, I think, is a bit flat in a lot of scenes, definitely. Like, you could definitely tell that I think he knew this wasn't very good, and he tries, definitely, but I think he was definitely too over the top at times, and they do have some good chemistry. There are some scenes that are genuinely sweet between these two when they first meet up, but as the movie goes on, the relationship becomes really silly, and I just didn't believe it, and I just thought it was really dumb, honestly, just the way the movie was done. Tim Roth, I thought was okay. He doesn't really have much to do here, though. Tim Roth deserves a lot more than this. All three of these actors deserve a lot more. These are three very talented actors, and it is not their fault they're in this movie. The movie they're in is pretty bad, definitely. That's the problem. The directing here, I can't figure out really what they were trying to do, because the movie is so jumbled in tone. The first act of this movie, before we get into this whole, I'm talking about Anna Kendrick's side of things, Martha's side, it feels like this kind of like screwball, romantic, psycho kind of comedy, that kind of comedy. In the second half of this movie, it turns into like Austin Powers, and but like a really, I'd say, graphic, hard, like Austin Powers, kind of like mixed with Kingsman a bit, and it just doesn't work at all for me. It feels like two completely different movies. The directing really didn't work, and again, while they tried to do a good job, it just didn't work in this movie. And the main problem with this movie really is the writing by Max Landis. He simply did not make that great of a film. And he's done other movies before. This guy has done Chronicle, he's done American Ultra, and yes, those movies work because the tone American Ultra was consistent, the tone in Chronicle was consistent. The tone here, it just doesn't work at all. I mean, the movie starts off as a typical romantic comedy and then turns into just something crazy. And the whole thing of Sam Rockwell being this hitman, I just wasn't interested in. And it really bored me, I have to say. Mainly because there's nothing that interesting about this relationship. They're just, immediately she's accepting of it. She's like, all right, whatever, I'm fine with it. Because her character, for whatever reason, thinks nothing of it. At first, she's kind of crazy, but they kind of just make fun of it. And you know exactly where this movie is going. You know every direction it's going to take. And that's why this movie didn't do much of anything for me. I wasn't into it. I got very bored with it. Even Anna Kendrick couldn't really hold my interest. I mean, when she was on, obviously, I tried to stay into it. She's in practically every scene. But I will say, when Anna Kendrick's not on screen, this movie is almost insufferable. I mean, the scenes with Sam Rockwell in the beginning are terrible. They're boring. They're saying things that just I didn't care about, and very quickly it took me out of the movie. I didn't give a shit what was going on with the hitman. I didn't care at all. All the action scenes are just so half-assed. They don't really feel that great. And the comedy in general, the movie is not really funny. I mean, this is not... Here's the main reason why I think this movie didn't work for Anna Kendrick. This is not at all her kind of humor. Anna Kendrick works with quirky, subtle humor. She does not work with slapsticky kind of humor she had in this movie. Other actresses, fine. Like Melissa McCarthy, that's the kind of humor that she has. This is not Anna Kendrick's kind of humor, and I get that she tried to do something different, and she definitely did try. This is just not really her forte, and I just don't think she should do another movie like this, because she tries to be funny, and she has that charm to her, but there's not really any scenes in this movie that really made me laugh all that much. I didn't really find anything that funny. There were some scenes in the beginning, and some things in the middle, but nothing really that memorable. The movie in general is very forgettable, and that's my other big thing, is that this is probably going to be one of the first Anna Kendrick movies that I forget, like, in a day. I will definitely forget this movie. I know people said Get a Job was really bad. I am going to watch that, but after this, I really don't want to, but I'm going to. So for me, I really just couldn't get into this movie. I tried to get into it, and I really was surprised by how bored I got. I mean, there was a point in this movie where I literally kind of just turned the volume off and didn't care, because I forgot I was watching it. That's never good when I forget I'm watching a movie. I should never forget I'm watching it, but I did kind of forget I was watching it, and towards the second and third half, it turns into this completely different movie, and I really wasn't into it at all. The ending was ridiculous, and also, the movie doesn't even really have much of an arc for Martha's character. We're just supposed to believe that Martha goes from, oh, you're a hitman, and have this whole thing, to be completely accepting of him, to already know how to shoot weapons, already know how to do all this stuff, and it just doesn't seem believable. It feels completely half-assed, completely underwritten. It doesn't really seem like they wanted to delve that much into her character. It didn't really seem like they care about the characters in this movie. It seemed like they only cared about the humor, and that was my biggest thing with this movie. The cinematography is just whatever. The score was fine. I don't really have a problem with the score, I'll say that. The editing is so choppy, though, and so all over the place. The movie, I think, was definitely, it was the perfect length, I definitely will say that, but the movie is all over the place. It goes in so many different directions, and none of them really went together for me at all. there were times where I just wanted this to be a regular romantic comedy because, like I said, there are some really good scenes between Sam Rockwell and Anna Kendrick that are very sweet, but then they're ruined by this screwball, ridiculous comedy that feels like something from like the 80s, and that's just not funny anymore. The 80s was a different time period, and yes, there are movies from the 80s that are very funny, but this was the actor's delivery, and that's why it worked, and the way jokes were done then was different than now. It just doesn't work. This feels like a movie that was shelved. It felt very direct to DVD, and I honestly recommend you guys don't see it. I mean, Anna Kendrick is very, very talented. Sam Rockwell is very talented, and Tim Roth is very talented. They deserve a lot better than this, and it's not their fault they did this. I don't think they thought this was going to be as bad as it is, because, you know, when actors sign on to movies, they don't know it's going to be terrible. I feel like Anna Kendrick wanted to try something different. I like that idea, but it just didn't work for me at all. And because of that, I am going to give Mr. Right a 3 out of 5 or a 2.5 out of 5, actually, or a C. I did not find this movie that interesting. I got out of it very quickly, and unfortunately, I can't recommend it to you guys, which really sucks. And there are some aspects that are funny. That's the thing. There are things with this movie that are funny. There is potential that this movie had, and there is things they could do with this movie that could have been better. But the movie itself is very broken. It never really goes, it never really went in any unexpected direction. It was very predictable and isn't really anything that great that I could recommend, or that I could recommend or is worth seeing. So overall, guys, in my review, Mr. Right, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys saw this movie, have seen it. Honestly, I recommend you don't check out this movie. It's very boring. You'll forget about it very quickly. It's nothing that great. And I will see you guys in my next video, which finally will be for the originals. I know you guys have been waiting, and that will be for that. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.